Liverpool returned to the top of the Premier League table with a very convincing win against Spurs. A Spurs team that is so difficult to break down and beat, but we did it, and we did it really well. A very good performance by Liverpool, and a very good performance by Spurs if you consider what Spurs tried to do. What they were trying to do, they were very good at. While me as a Liverpool fan, I look at what Spurs try and do and the football that they try and play, or as a lot of people will turn around and say, anti-football, because it's Jose Mourinho and the way that he plays. You can't argue that the way that they've been playing, it's been getting them results. It had them top of the table as well. They aren't top of the table right now. The seasons are very still, it's not in its infancy. It's definitely getting in there now, but it's still a long way to go until the season's over. But you got to appreciate what they were trying to do, and they were almost successful at it as well. It was to take the fewer chances, but take them, if you know what I mean. Maybe having the fewer chances, but taking them. So whereas we've had 17 shots, 11 on target, Spurs had 8 and 2 on target. Makes such a difference when you look at it like that. But when you look at it on the face of it, if you look at it just statistically, you go, wow, dominant performance by Liverpool, 75% possession to 25% for Spurs. But when you watch the game and you go through it and you look at it, and if you did watch it and you go through the eye test, as I like to say, it applies to players, but it also applies to games. They had better chances than us. Like the chances that they had in front of our goal as well. What was it? Bergwijn hit the post. Harry Kane sends a header over the bar. And you're looking at these things and you're thinking, another game, 9 times out of 10, they're going in. Harry Kane's header hits the back of the net. Bergwijn puts it in the back of the net as well. But they didn't in this one. And maybe in that way we were fortunate. A little bit, a slice of luck was on our side, maybe. But I still feel that we were the better team. I still feel that we fully, 100% warranted and deserved that victory. 100%. No doubt in my mind whatsoever that we deserved that result. That puts us back top of the table. That puts us on plus 10 goal difference. And I'll come back to why that is important and why it means so much to me that we were able to turn things around so much. I'll come back to that a little later on. Anyway, let's go through what actually happened in this game. In fact, what I'll do first is I'll go through the lineup. So the lineup came out, and it's Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Rhys Williams, massive highlight for him because I'm so happy for him. Fabinho, Andy Robertson, backline. Midfield was pretty much the same as I thought it was going to be. Curtis Jones, Henderson, and Gini Wijnaldum. And then Mohamed Salah, Bobby Firmino and Mane. You pretty much knew that these guys were going to pick themselves because obviously Jota being injured, Shaqiri is currently out with some sort of knock or injury anyway. So you knew there wasn't going to be many changes there anyway. And Minamino probably being a little bit out of form, not necessarily out of favour because he's still got a role to play. And I'd love to talk to you about the substitutes, but we didn't use any. So, yeah, I'll come back to that as well, why that might be important. Some people are a bit negative about it as well, and I can totally understand why. But I've got a little feeling of why he might have done that anyway. So, we go into the match details here. And Salah, it took me by surprise. It took me by surprise. Now, let's make no mistake, Rhys Williams had a massive part to play in this goal. His initial pass from the back right up to the forward line was very good. Very good. Types of things that I see, and let me say right now, I'm not comparing Rhys Williams to Van Dijk, but those types of passes, those through ball passes that you do get from Fabinho as well, but Van Dijk plays those passes as well, like splits through their midfield and goes right through to our forward line and puts them in front of the defence that they're coming up against, and that's very good. It's very good. And then Salah got fortunate. Whether it would have gone in anyway, I don't know. Where he was aiming for it to go, whether it would have gone in, I'm not entirely sure. But it got deflected and it looped over Hugo Lloris perfectly. He got wrong-footed. He did not know where that ball was going to go. He went one way where it looked like Salah was going for. Obviously, the deflection takes it a completely other way. Gets wrong-footed, looks at it, and watches it loop over because he could not move in time. There's no way any goalkeeper, as good as Lloris is, and as good as anybody else could be as well, you're not getting to that. And it literally looped in perfectly. Set us on our way at 1-0, and you're thinking, right, we are the better team right now. Yes, we're getting caught a little bit when they get the ball, but we're doing okay. Everything's looking a little bit solid. It's looking, it's decent. It's decent right now. And then when I was thinking that, we get caught on the counter. Heung-min Son, a VAR check was checked for this as well. Somehow didn't give us the decision. No idea. It was a fantastic finish by Son. Really was. Nice finish at Alisson's near post. Really powerful. Well put in. Very, very good goal. Not taking that away from Son whatsoever. However, we come back always. Somehow, we always seem to come back to this Everton game where Mane was judged to have been offside for our winning goal, which would have been our winning goal of Jordan Henderson's, but he was judged to have been offside. It's a very, very similar, if not the same, margin for error or margin of offside that VAR didn't pick up on this time. Now, whether they've decided to change something, and I've not picked up on it because they change rules. Whenever something controversial happens, they change rules that then will benefit people in future games, but don't benefit people like us, Liverpool versus Everton, that don't benefit us then. Doesn't benefit us right now, but it benefits future opponents. I don't know whether that's right or not. I don't agree with it, but I don't know if that's happened in this instance. For me, it looks exactly the same as Mane against Everton. I still feel right now, Mane was bang in line. He was not offside in my opinion. And in this instance, I felt that Son was offside. If we're judging it how VAR did with Mane last time out. Let me know what you think in the comments below about that one, because I didn't think it was right. We then go pretty much into half time, and you're just wondering, okay, it's 1-1. They're getting their chances. They're playing exactly how you would expect them to play. They are literally, we have the ball. The ball is in their half, right? And as soon as we lose that ball, they're wanting to hit us and counter quickly, very, very quickly. Bergwijn and Son probably as your main outlets. Obviously, Harry Kane being sometimes the principal creator, but sometimes also making some driving runs as well. There were some times when Harry Kane's making runs at us. He's not the quickest player of all time, but we're backing off him and allowing someone of his shot quality, allowing him to take shots from just outside our box. That wasn't good in my opinion. That was something that pretty much got shored up later on. Rhys Williams really had the run of Harry Kane as well. I was so happy about that as well. We move in to the second half as well. Now, I'm just going to skip a little bit further because we were having good moments in the second half. Spurs were having better chances. Now, they weren't getting them on target. In fact, for Tottenham having 8 shots, which for me means at least 8 chances in front of our goal, and only 2 of them on target, that's probably more shots in a game that Tottenham had than they would probably normally have against some other opposition as well. Obviously not Man United, they scored 6 against them, but I digress. There's probably quite a lot of shots, good volume of shots. And when you look at the quality of attackers just in Son and Harry Kane, you're expecting these guys to have their shots or chances at least hit the target. Make the goalkeeper work. But they weren't in this instance. And, they did. They got in great positions, and which also meant that they had a great chance of scoring, and they didn't take it. And they could have put this game to bed with the chances that they had, but they didn't. And then it's winding down. I'll be totally honest with you here, and this is quite funny, right? I'll be completely honest with you, because I had to watch some of that game back this morning when I woke up before work, and I'll tell you why. From the 50th minute, around that area, to the 81st minute, I drifted off. And it wasn't because the game was boring. The game was brilliant. It was fantastic, right? And I drifted off to sleep. Just a little small nap, because obviously with my working hours, I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go to work, right? So staying up to watch Liverpool it is a commitment that I love. It's brilliant. I love watching Liverpool. I can't be one of those people that Liverpool kicking off at 8 o'clock, but I go to bed at 8 o'clock. So I'll wake up in the morning. I'll check my notifications. I can't do it. Anxiety kicks in. Like, I tried to do it once for a Champions League game. Can't remember which one. I tried to do it once, and I just can't do it. Like, I was just lying there, just going. What's the score? What's the score? How are they doing? How are they playing? Are they playing well? I don't know. And I just end up having to sit. I have to watch the game. Doesn't matter. I'll sacrifice sleep for watching the game. But in this instance, I literally drifted off, and I woke back up. I woke back up, and it was the 81st minute. I went, oh, okay, still 1-1. All right, we're still in it. Okay, no problem, no problem, no problem. And then we're coming into the 90th minute, and I'm just thinking, all right, you know what? A draw's not the worst thing. A draw's not a bad thing. It's it's good for Spurs as well, and it was good for it's okay for us. It's not bad. It's not the best that we could have had, but against a Spurs team that's really difficult, and then bang, I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about this corner. Who am I? I'm not worried about this corner. I don't think that anyone. I think that Tottenham have got this dominancy. It's not a word. Dominancy is not a word. Tottenham have got the dominancy of this. I just can't see any Liverpool players getting the head on it. Apart from that one. Tim Sherwood. Tim Sherwood, of all people. Like, you were a crap manager. Yeah, you brought through Harry Kane, whatever. But, gave him a chance when you were in charge of Tottenham for a little bit. But fantastic. Like, Andy Robertson. Beautiful corner in the last couple of minutes. Beautiful corner in the last couple of minutes. And Bobby Firmino, of all people, he's not the tallest forward. He isn't the tallest forward at all. And he gets up in front of, I think it was Alderweireld and Harry Kane. And he gets up, literally bounces up like he's a kangaroo or something like that. And he literally bullet header into the back of the net. I couldn't believe it. I'm so glad that I woke up, right before the end of the game. Because that was I couldn't believe it. I genuinely couldn't believe it. And for Bobby Firmino to be the scorer as well, what a man that is. But what a goal that was, and what a game that was as well. The last 2 minutes of stoppage time, Spurs are piling the pressure on. They're putting the pressure on. They're trying to get this emergency goal that they need to at least rescue a draw. And at some point, I think they had a chance where if it was a little bit better, they could have had a better chance at goal. But they didn't. Final whistle blows. 2-1. To Liverpool. 2-1, Liverpool. Fantastic. Fantastic. And it shows me again that while I don't actively doubt this team, I always wonder, how are we going to keep going with what we're doing and trying to, be top of the table, be the guys that want, we are the guys with the target on our back, right? Make no mistake. Make no mistake, people play rougher against us than I believe than against anyone else. I genuinely believe people look at us with a target and they want to take us down. Take your best shots, because this is a very difficult, title-challenging Tottenham team. And we won 2-1, in my opinion, because of the Son offside or non-offside by VAR. We should have won this game 2-0. We could have had a clean sheet here. But we got the win. We made loads of chances. Rhys Williams got his debut in the Premier League. He's had a debut in the Champions League. He's got a debut in the Premier League. And the guy looks brilliant. He had... Someone obviously put a meme out late at night saying Rhys Williams, when he empties his pockets when he got home, and it was like a pair of, his phone, set of car keys, and Harry Kane. He had Harry Kane last night. He did. Harry Kane still had a couple of chances here and there, had a couple of better opportunities than he probably took. But Rhys Williams really was fantastic. Absolutely did not look out of place. When all the stories are obviously, building up the game towards the game going on, and everybody's saying Liverpool don't have any fit senior centre-backs and all this sort of stuff, it plants a seed sometimes in here of just a little bit of doubt. And it shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be there. It should not be allowed to be in here at all. And a lot of people start, getting into it and maybe believing it. And to be fair, you're always wondering a little bit of when is it's not, I shouldn't say it. I always think it though. It's when is the luck going to run out? And it's not luck. It's not luck at all. It's hard work, well drilled hard work, very well coached hard work as well. And you see that. Our young players come in and play in our system, and they don't look out of place. Nico Williams had a bit of a tough time, but in his last couple of games he played, looks fantastic. Looks really, really good. Brilliant. Rhys Williams comes in, Champions League, and also comes in the Premier League now. Looks brilliant. Looks absolutely brilliant. Nat Phillips, when he's played, looks natural. Looks a bit, he's a bit more of an old school sort of defender. He's not going to be looking to ping 60, 80 yard balls. But as a defender, as someone who wants to win the ball, stand tackles, slide tackles, winning aerial duels and stuff like that, holding off, using his strength, very, very good. Incredible what these lads are doing. And I'm so impressed with Rhys Williams as well. Because he was playing in like 8 divisions down or something in non-league last season. Had a really tough time of it as well at first. Got, roughed up quite a bit. I think he had his nose broken at some point as well. But that is a tough young lad. And he's very, very good for what he's doing at his age. For what he's been expected to do. When we're missing the likes of Van Dijk and Gomez, and Matip obviously wasn't risked against Spurs, which I think that's the right thing to do as well. That was the right thing not to risk Matip, just to get him back in as a senior centre-back. That was the right call, in my opinion. We move into, I think, everyone's opinion. Curtis Jones in midfield. Curtis Jones is an exceptional football player. Exceptional. Like, he ran the show for Liverpool. He ran that game. Everything good. And I'm not taking anything away from Gini Wijnaldum, Henderson. They had their role. They played their role very, very well. And they definitely played their part. It was brilliant from them. But Curtis Jones ran the show back to front. In attack, in the midfield, and also coming back and helping out as well. Helping out, doing a bit of defensive work as well. Curtis Jones is a magnificent football player. And at such a young age, like, I can't even imagine what cloud these guys are sat on. But you know what? These guys probably just take it a little bit in their stride at the moment. They probably just say, you know what? Yeah, I'm a Liverpool player. I'm a Liverpool first team player. And you know what? I'm playing well. I'm playing good. If someone wants to come in and take my spot, they have to be better than me. When the likes of Naby Keita are fit, when the likes of Thiago are fit, you're going to be vying for Curtis Jones' spot. And he's making that spot so difficult for anyone to take away from him. Never mind whether it's treble winning Thiago, who came from Bayern Munich, or whether it's Naby Keita, or whether whoever else it might be. You're coming in and you're going to be competing for Curtis Jones' spot. How awesome is that to be able to say? Yes, we have been forced into a position where we've had to use younger players to be able to facilitate and get through this particular period of bad injuries, that have been happening throughout our squad. Hasn't really hit the forward line apart from Jota. Obviously, that's a big one. But defensively, Rhys Williams, Nico Williams, Nat Phillips. Obviously, Tsimikas has played a little bit, but he's got a lot of injury issues. Like, he seems to play a game and get injured, play a game and get injured, and it's not necessarily great, but hopefully that doesn't happen all the time for him. Midfield, Thiago, what we've seen 45 minutes from him, I'm pretty sure, like against Chelsea. Naby Keita always has his injury issues. You've got James Milner that we're missing, and I do feel that we are literally missing James Milner as someone that can rotate with Henderson and such like that as well, and also be one of the most flexible players that I've ever seen. Like, everybody is stepping up. To the point where if Liverpool, like when we play against Crystal Palace, and if Liverpool decide to go, you know what, we're going to bring Leighton Clarkson in, I'm like, I'm all for it. Do it. Bring him in. If you want to give like Gini Wijnaldum or Henderson a little bit of a rest, get Leighton Clarkson in there. I'm pretty sure he'll do a damn decent job as well. I'm confident of these young lads. I'm confident in our academy. How great is it that, yes, we've been forced into this position to use these younger guys and utilise our academy, but these guys are coming in and they are performing. They are performing, and they are performing really, really well. We look at likes of Harvey Elliott, who's out on loan at Blackburn, lighting it up at Blackburn, and they are worried that we're going to recall him in January. That's how good he's doing and how good he could be. Who knows? But he sounds like he's having a magnificent time. That, while we brought him in, I think Fulham we brought him in from, or whoever it was, but such a young lad, he's going to have a really bright future as well. Things are looking, pretty positive. Is there anything that we can do in January? I'm going to do another video on that at another time. But I couldn't be happier with the performance levels that are maintained somehow by these players, even though Jurgen Klopp says that these players are getting into the red zone in terms of, fitness and such like that. They are still doing it. They're still delivering. They are still quality. They are still Liverpool. And I'm so, so happy. And I'm so happy that the fans that were able to go to the game last night, they got to see something like that as well. That was absolutely fantastic from Liverpool. I'm really happy. Very, very happy. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It's been a bit of a longer one, at 20 minutes or so, but there was just a lot of stuff. I just wanted to let my mouth run until it's ran out, and it is pretty much almost ran out at the moment. So let me know what you think in the comments below about this game, about the result, and what it could mean for us moving forward into other fixtures, and also what it could mean in terms of rotation and stuff like that as well. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please do feel free to like it and subscribe if you're new around here as well. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please do take care of yourselves as well, and I'll catch you later.